Hello and welcome to Luxulyan Valley here in Cornwall. Today I'm going to take you on a walk which is not only a beautiful woodland walk, but it's an area that's packed with relics from Cornwall's industrial past, thanks to a man called Treffry. And it's obviously there's lots of mining history and all sorts of stuff. There's also an amazing viaduct, viaduct, that we're going to go and have a look at too. So let's get on. Okay, so before I start the walk, I just have to tell you the path. There's two options here. You can take either, it matters not. I did this video over 2 days, and on the first day I took the upper path because this path here was closed. And the first thing we're going to look at is Treffry's viaduct. And both of these paths lead to it, so you can't really go wrong. So I just thought I'd explain that right from the top in case you're thinking, well, which path do I take? Take either, matters not. So less than 100 metres from the car park you come to the Treffry viaduct, which is this amazing structure built in Victorian times by Treffry. This is an amazing viaduct and aqueduct, built of granite. I think it was the mid-1800s, but I'll double check. So this is the River Par that runs underneath the viaduct, all the way down to the sea at Par. This is on the south coast. So here I am on Treffry's viaduct, which is an amazing structure. Feels very high up here, I can tell you, for someone who's not particularly keen on heights. And obviously here's the granite path on which would have been laid tram lines for horses to draw the carriages across, carrying all the ore and whatever, china clay, whatever else they pulled across here. Now, as I said, this is also a viaduct, and you can probably just about see, in fact you probably can't just see, but my camera won't quite fit through there, but there's obviously another channel underneath. These granite sleepers going across. It's obviously a sluice gate that controlled the water coming underneath, coming across the viaduct. So the water would obviously come through the viaduct and through that sluice gate and then come cascading down this little gorge that's been cut here down to the leats, which are the waterways that basically ferried the water along to the machinery in the valley. Luxulyan Valley is a very popular walk, so you're pretty much bound to come across other people when you're doing this walk. I guess unless you come really early morning, you might be able to find some space of your own. There's quite a few of these enormous boulders. This almost looks like a UFO. This one is absolutely enormous. I just can't think how it got here. If it was put here by men, which I very much doubt because it's so big, but it's just a bizarre thing to be all on its own in the middle of these woods. So not very long down the lower path. I'm guessing 50 or 60 metres from the viaduct, not far. There's a gate here which leads up. I'm trying to do a slow pan here without, there you go, so much for that plan, which goes up the side of the valley here, up to the upper pass. So I'm going to go through this gate and go up there. So here we are back on the, what I call the upper path. So we're going to go that way now. You know you're on the right path because down to the left is a leat that runs all the way along this path. I love these granite bridges that cross the leat and go up into the woods up there. I wonder where all these paths go. Must go somewhere. Maybe I'll go explore one day. As I said, Luxulyan Valley is known as Glyn in Cornish, which means Valley of Alder Trees from memory, or the Little Valley of Alder Trees. I'm not quite sure which, I can't remember now. But I'm 90% sure that these trees here are alder trees. I think they're black alder trees, they might be grey alder, I'm not 100% sure. But it's great that they're still here. An interesting little fact about the trees, the alder trees, is that they were used, the charcoal from them was used to make gunpowder until the 1940s apparently. And I think from the research that I did on the valley that you know, one of the first things that went on here was making of charcoal for gunpowder. So there we are, and no doubt other things too, but that's why it got the name Glyn. I've never quite appreciated quite how beautiful the branch shape is on these alder trees. It's very distinctive. I haven't seen anything quite like it. What I found so interesting about this place is the way that it adapted when it was used for, you know, for moving minerals around and china clay and copper mining, whatever, and it adapted as it went through its life. And now of course it's been returned to just being a beautiful woodland in the valley. Of course it's no use for farming or anything else, so fingers crossed it's just going to be preserved like this for generations to enjoy. It's like veins in the body. It's amazing. There's another one of those granite bridges that I was talking about. Another enormous lump of granite. So now we've reached the bottom of the wheel pit. Let's go take a look. So I've climbed up from the lower path, sorry, the higher path that is now the lower path to reach the top of the wheel pit, and I have to say it is quite strenuous, so if you're not that fit you may have to find another way to here. Now, as it happens, there is a pathway here which I'll show you. Hang on, let's see if I can do that. There we are, there's the path. Now, I'm guessing that that path leads to this path leads to the top of the viaduct. That's what I'm thinking. Certainly I'll try and investigate and find out if there's another way here, because as I say, that is a bit of a climb up. So here I am at Carmire's wheel pit, which would have consisted of an enormous wooden wheel. You can just see, I'm guessing, the remains of what it would have been built onto, although there's a later wheel, but I'll get into that in a second. There'd have been a 30-foot water wheel there made of wood, which would have been fed by this channel here, which is just basically a wooden channel which would have ferried water and turned the wheel. And the wheel would have pulled wagons up the side of the valley, which was known as Carmire's Incline. And later in its history, they replaced the 30-foot wheel with a 40-foot wheel, which was used to grind china clay, from what I understand. Now I'm down on one of the lower levels. You can see that enormous wheel, or what's left of it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little tour of Carmire's wheel pit and the drone footage I took, which was good fun to do. I'm going to now move on to Treffry Dry, which is further down the valley. So let's crack on. I've just noticed at the top of Carmire's wheel pit there's these buildings which I've not spotted before. So I'm going to have a quick look. Obviously connected with the wheel pit. I'm guessing this is some kind of office. It's got a fireplace. And over in the trees there's another building. Looks more substantial than the first. Let's go and have a look at that one. It's been overtaken by stinging nettles, so need to be careful. I'm guessing this might have been the boss's office, as it's so much bigger than the other one. From Cornwall's wheel pit, I've come back down to the upper path, which sounds double Dutch. The leet's still following us. There's a whole system of these leets. I've only seen this one, but I've not really looked for them in earnest. Here's another one of those granite bridges that I was talking about. So this is good. So the upper path joins the path that goes up to Cornwall's wheel pit. So if you can't get up that steep bit there, don't panic, just walk another 100 or so yards, maybe less, and you can just walk up to the wheel pit from here. So now we're descending, and you can see clearly again these granite sleepers. Well, they're obviously different to the ones up on the viaduct, but this is where the tracks would have been laid on to roll the wagons down. So let's go and have a look what's up here. And I'll try not to fall down, because I'll make a right fool of myself if I do. Oh, okay. Well, it's just another path. It's the lower path that's crossing the upper path. All roads lead to Rome. Almost at the bottom of the track now, and I can see a large railway bridge to my right. Definitely the bottom of the end of the valley rather now. There's a warning sign here about taking care in the valley. Right, so as I said, we've come to the end of the valley, so basically now we're going to go back that way, which leads us back to where we started. I'm not going to stress too much over paths and things. As I say, it all goes one way, you can't really go wrong, and it's in a valley, so you're going to be hard pushed to get lost. So let's see if we can go and find the dry. I wonder when this bridge was built. It's made of granite, just like the others. Maybe it's Victorian too. So I've reached Treffry Dry. I'm going to take a little break before I have a look round here. So this is all a bit exciting. I'm going to set myself a challenge here. So this is called Treffry's Dry, not Trevini, which I said earlier. It's Treffry's Dry. Just checked on my note. Now all I know about this place is that it was used to dry out china clay slurry, and then I'm assuming the china clay was then taken away in wagons to go wherever it was going to go. So my target is to work out how that worked. Wish me luck, because it just looks like a load of stone walls at the moment. Let's see what I can find. Right, so at one end there's this 30 or 40 foot chimney, which obviously is there to get rid of the smoke. Here is some kind of hut, so ignore that. Now there's another, and I can't really get through to that. I'm not going to, because it looks like it's been blocked off. So this is above where I was talking from a minute ago. And there's just these openings and, well, so far not really getting very far. Okay, so we can assume down there it's pretty much the same. It's just these little openings. Ah, well, that one's been bricked up. That one's been blocked up. Filter press house. Maybe this filtered the water out of the slurry because there's pipes in here. Yeah, so in there is, I'm guessing, the pipe work that would have brought the slurry. So does it come out of there? It went into here. I'm guessing. Well, there's some kind of railway track here. Plot thickens. Maybe that was chucked up into, put down into this area, which is all overgrown, so I can't see the bottom of it. I'm just wondering if this upper area was like drying area 1. Ah. Okay, now let's go through here. What's this thing? I'm going to take a stab. I think this is just some kind of storage area, tank, maybe. Ah, now we're getting there. Yes. Okay, now it's starting to make sense. So that big area that I said is overgrown, that looks like it might be the primary drying area, is obviously heated by these furnaces. So that makes sense, doesn't it? So the furnaces heated up the granite, which evaporated the water. Well, that's what I'm guessing. So what happened to it then? That's the question. So we're now on the lower level again. So here I am back at where I ate my lunch, and this is what I think. I think the slurry came in at that top building, which I showed you, and went into this area or tank or whatever it is, what you want to call it, where the furnaces that are underneath it heated it and evaporated the water. Somehow the china clay gets to here, I don't know, shoveled, whatever, and then it goes through these bays onto wagons to be taken away. So that's my theory. I'm going to put the drone up and just have a look above and see if that gives me any more clues. But yeah, I reckon that's what happened. So the closing of Trevani Dry, which I believe was in 1960, there was still something going on until then, marked the end of all industrial workings down here in the valley, and that was that. And now it's just a place you can wander around and enjoy and look at these lovely old buildings, really. Amazing monuments to human endeavour and whatever. So about to leave Trevani Dry for the walk back to the car park, and just as I was setting up this shot, 2 wild deer just ran down the path towards me and scooted off into the undergrowth. So you can even see wild deer down here. They were absolutely stunning, so made me smile. So you know, for a short period, short part of the track after the dry is on the wrong side of the river, but eventually you come to this bridge that puts you back on the right side of the river. When you get to this junction, keep to the right.